Preparing flowers, she is faced with the man to ghosts has laced a ribbon. No amount of soul she's given, she don't know what to give.
My name is Rachel Sermanni, and I live in Scotland. I come from the Highlands of Scotland, a small space up there, well, a large space with less people, so small village. And I often live in Glasgow because that's where there's lots of music going on.
Still swings, delicate or unhinged is within sight.
The reason I moved down to Glasgow is because I was sort of hoping to play my songs to a larger audience and things like that. And my songs, it's always hard to you never like to put your songs into a hole, but the hole that they really belong to is sort of folk in a muddy sense, and I really enjoy playing, and I've played with lots of different people. As in musicians, there's always lots of musicians, and my feet are in many different circles. They're in the traditional world, but they're also in this sort of indie world that sort of travels to festivals and things in mainly the UK, but slowly coming further afield to places like here. I think it probably has influenced. I like the space in Scotland for one. I love to be outdoors and stuff like that, and I think that probably comes across in the imagery. Is often my home space is usually not in the city. It's often got the woods in it, or the fields, which is just like where I run about as a young kid, and I hope I still run about as an old kid as well. So I like that, and then I learned a lot of Scottish traditional music as I was growing up through school. So I practiced the whistle and the fiddle, and I got a mandolin here, and I'm playing with a bunch of fiddle players here. And it's very melodical. The traditional music's really Scottish music. All the tunes are really beautiful melodies and things like that, and they're just really simplistic, but they can get a message across straight away. So that's good. Well, I mean, this is my first trip, and I don't think you can compare this event to anything. So I can't make that comparison yet, but I know that I love Scotland because you can walk into a pub and you can pull out an instrument and have a big session with everybody. I think it's the closest us older people can get to being children, because I think it's a form of play, and you can be as good or as bad as you want, and you can be as drunk or as sober as you want, but you're all sort of around a table playing, so there's a lovely sense of community. So that's a traditional world. That's why I love that element. I would never want to lose that. And then the sort of the Scottish scene out with that, the indie folk and stuff like that, it's still got a real strong sense of community, and that's good to attain. So the album is called Under Mountains. I'm very content with it. It's I think 12 songs of that ranged from I wrote some of them when I was in later years of school, and all the way up to about 2 years ago. And the themes of writing obviously span a good lot of years, a good lot of learning, and progress in different ways. And the more recent ones are perhaps a little darker, but all of them have a theme, suppose, of trying to get to the nitty gritty. I don't know, actually. I suppose I'm looking at it from the inside, but almost all of them are inspired by dreams. I get a lot of my imagery from the dreams I had. Some of the earlier ones were dreams like Breathe Easy. I dreamt that the boy I quite liked jumped into the river after me, and we both went under the water and just had a really nice moment underneath the water, and I still remember that dream. And then another more recent one, Blackcurrant, was written because I had a dream that amongst some other images, there was one where I was a bird and I was very, very high up. Really simplistic ideas, but they just come to you in dreams. They're really great. But my wings were so long and really thin, so it was really precarious, and I was scared. So I think that was about fear and anxiety, or that's what this song sort of explores. There's been a lovely response. There's I've only read nice reviews. That could mean so many things, though. But reviews aside, I think I'm very content with it. I think it's honest as to like the environment. It was recorded with a bunch of really good people, almost fully live. Like the real essence of it is live. And it's good. It's a relief for me just to have it out, because they are all songs that mean a lot, and to sing them. And I think it's a slow grower in the sense. I think that's maybe what I am in a sense for anybody who would like to listen to the music. But that's okay. Well, I think I'm never trying to play a specific kind, and I think that's why it's quite difficult for most people to identify an influence, like one influence or even just a few, because you are influenced from the minute you come out the womb, like, and you don't know what half the things are going on in your head until they come out, and so it's often it takes a lot of exploration to find what sounds making you resonate with the feeling that you've got, and so I suppose that's the sound that's come out, but who knows if it goes in different directions, but I still always try to explore it. I could recite the whole of the Jabberwocky. It's like I'll give you the first verse and you'll get an idea. I quite liked my silly poems when I was younger. I don't think this is a silly poem. I think it's very clever. But this man's basically come up with his own language. C.S. Lewis. Lewis Carroll. No, wait. C.S. Lewis. Oh, feck, I always get confused. Jabberwocky by C.S. Lewis. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toads did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borough and the mome raths outgrabe. And it continues in this manner. And this little band has to go fight this massive monster. So that's a great poem. Why do I like it so much? Because it's full of creation. It's like really imaginative. It's quite dark. It's a part where he chops the monster's head off, and then he goes back to his dad and he's like, "Oh, frab juste, kalu kale." It's just great. It's great. I had a really wonderful recording experience. One of the first recording experiences is I knew of a place, a thing called a bothy. Do you get bothies in Canada? A bothy is, you may get them, but you might just call it something else. But in the mountains or in the forest, in the Highlands of Scotland, for mountaineers, for travellers, you find these shacks, these houses that are basically abandoned. They might have an old springy mattress and a fire, and some cupboards. And the nice tradition is whoever was in there last might leave a bottle of whiskey, and it's just an open space for people to take refuge in when they're walking or whatever, hiking. And so I knew about this place. I've known about it since my fourth birthday. A place called Stag Bothy. And it's this wooden, beautiful wooden shack in the middle of the forest. I invited about 10 of my friends, just last minute, do you want to come to the Highlands? And they came, or some of them came, didn't know who was going to come. We set up a load of recording apparatus and just plugged it into an old generator. and spent the night with whiskey, and they learnt my songs. You know, like I gave them a couple songs and we just played them over and over until we had a good thing, and we got an EP out of that. And that was like, and we didn't stop playing on till the end, until the night was over and the morning was up. It was really nice. Canadian stereotypes. I've only heard good things, and I'm not even like, only like just exceptionally friendly people. That's all I've heard. Am I going to be proved wrong? I don't think so. So far so good. Yeah, it's just so nice. Well, what's exciting is Canada is high up on the list of things to do this year. There's lots of Canada Music Week, Canadian Music Week. I'm going to do that, and there's a few other festivals, I think, and hopefully some small tours. So it's just really exciting. I like the feel. I like the. I've never been to Canada, but I like the feel, and I've always felt that. I've met a lot. I once did a tour with Ron Sexsmith over in UK, and I just got a really nice feeling off all of them. They were just really nice, and I was like, I think I should go. So here we are. I think that's a. What do I think life is? I've been reading a lot of this man, Thich Nhat Hanh. Can I show you the book?
Sure.
He's a Buddhist, Tibetan Buddhist. And this book is quite special because it's talking about he's trying to find the parallels between Christianity and Buddhism. I'm not a massive religious person, but I think I love the stillness that comes with reading things like this. Stillness that comes in the silence of sitting in a church and stuff like that. And I think but I don't know what life is. But these things are really good to read and just be calm and not be afraid of what life is, because I think that's usually what people are too bothered about. They're too bothered about being scared, or they're too bothered. Full stop. Go read some stuff.
She fears she'll crack the eggshells, but the pendulum still swings.